One of the best things humanity has ever put together is technology. Because of it, we're able to advance further in our communities and our respective studies. Looking back, we've come a long way a millennia ago, and there's still so much to look forward to. Everything can be done at the tap of our fingers from the comforts of our own home. Even space exploration has achieved greater heights. But not all countries are created equal. Some have made more progress compared to others, which is what we'll be discussing today. Hey everybody, what have you been busy with these days? Welcome back to our channel where the topic of today's video is about the countries with the best technology. We're pretty sure you have a hunch on what these countries are, so stay tuned to know more. One more thing, before we get to that, kindly leave a thumbs up on today's video, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you won't miss out on our newest uploads. We'll be listing the top countries with the best technological advancements as of May 2021, so keep on watching to know more. Switzerland. Starting today's list in the 10th spot is the land of mountains, chocolates, and luxury watches, Switzerland. Officially called the Swiss Federation, Switzerland is known as one of the wealthiest countries in the world and for its neutrality. Switzerland has a population of approximately 8,574,832 people, with an area that spans around 41,277 square kilometers. Its gross domestic product is estimated at around $703 billion, with a GDP per capita of $72,376. According to the CIA World Factbook, the country has a low unemployment rate with a skilled labor force and one of the highest gross domestic products per capita in the world. The country has a strong economy that's powered by a highly developed service sector and low corporate tax rates, which is led by financial services and high-tech manufacturing. Switzerland has also won more Nobel Prizes and registered more patents per capita than most other nations. Israel. Next on the list, we have Israel in the 9th spot. A small country located on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea, Israel is the only Jewish country in the world, and despite being small in size, it's played a significant role in global affairs to this day. Israel is smaller in terms of land area compared to Switzerland, with Israel spanning 21,937 square kilometers, but they're more populated than the other country with a demographic of 9,053,300 people. Its gross domestic product is estimated at $395 billion, with a GDP per capita of $42,898. Like Switzerland, Israel also has a strong economy, but it has very strained relationships with neighboring Arab regions. The country is rich with several architectural sites that bear significance to different religions as well. Modern Israel was founded back in World War I when Zionists lobbied the British for recognition of a Jewish state in Palestine. After World War II, the British withdrew from their mandate of Palestine, and the United Nations proposed dividing the area into Arab and Jewish states, an idea opposed by the Arabs. Nonetheless, Israelis declared independence in 1948, and the new country then defeated the Arabs in a series of wars. The country's science and technology is one of their most developed sectors, where in 2019 they were ranked in 5th place as the most innovative country by the Bloomberg Innovation Index. This index is an annual ranking of countries that measures performance in research and development, technology education, patents, and other marks of technological prowess. Singapore. Number 8 on the list, we have one of the most progressive countries in Southeast Asia, Singapore. Founded as a British trading colony in the 19th century, it's one of the world's busiest ports. It became independent in 1965 as the Republic of Singapore and operates under a conservative parliamentary republic. Singapore is known for its strict laws and tight implementation, where a single individual can be subjected to harsh penalties for littering. As one of the smallest countries in the world with an area of 719 square kilometers, it has a population of 5,703,569, with a GDP estimated at $372 billion and a GDP per capita of $101,649. The country prioritizes the safety and security of the people and also takes pride in its strict governance. Singapore is known for its efficient manufacturing and production services that became a major factor in the country's growth in recent years. Thanks to these practices, it made its way for free market innovation in the booming electronics and pharmaceutical industries. Gross domestic product per capita is high and unemployment is low, making Singapore one of the wealthiest nations in the world. The United Kingdom. Continuing the list, we have the United Kingdom in the 7th spot. Also a highly influential country, the UK is known to be technologically advanced compared to its neighbors. With a landmass of 243,610 square kilometers and a population of 66,834,405, the UK has considerable cultural, economic, scientific, and political influence all over the world. The country has a GDP of $2.83 trillion with a GDP per capita of $49,932. The nation's global influence has its roots in the British Empire that formed during the European colonial era and peaked in the early 20th century before embarking on decolonization following World War II. London, the country's capital, is a major international financial center and one of the most visited cities in the world. Like many other countries on today's list, the UK has several major contributions in the arts and sciences, and it continues to be at the forefront of scientific and technological advances. It's also home to to the top universities in the world, which include the prestigious University of Oxford, Imperial College of London, and Cambridge. Russia. Continuing the list, we have the largest country in the 6th spot, the Russian Federation, or simply Russia. It has a landmass covering 17,098,242 square kilometers, making it the largest country on Earth. It has a population of 144,373,535, with a GDP of 1.7 trillion and a GDP per capita of $29,181. Russia shares several borders with the United States and Japan, and it covers all of Northern Asia and much of Eastern Europe. Russia became an independent nation at the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, and as a result, the Russians directly elected their president and their federal government. A lot of Western governments have continuously criticized Russia's government for being authoritarian and for being guilty of human rights abuses. In terms of economy, it has one of the largest in the world, and it's thanks to the country's extensive natural resources that it leads the world in oil and natural gas production, agriculture, fishing, and manufacturing, serving as other economic drivers. Oil and natural gas in particular represent large portions of the country's economy. Russia also is one of the world's largest exporters of military weapons, trailing only the United States. The Russians were also the first to launch a satellite into orbit and also the first ones to execute a spacewalk. They've also made contributions in the arts and classical literature aside from their scientific prowess. Germany. Now we're on the upper half of the list. At the number 5 spot, we have the most populous country in Europe, Germany. The country has one of the largest economies in the world with a GDP of $3.85 trillion and a GDP per capita of $57,530. It has a population of 83,132,799 and a land area of 357,022 square kilometers. It has a parliamentary democracy and uses a social market economy of which open market capitalism carries certain social service guarantees. Its economy is one of the world's largest, and Germany is one of the globe's leading importers and exporters. Services, which include industries such as telecommunications, healthcare, and tourism, contribute the greatest amount to the country's economy. Industry and agriculture are other significant economic sectors with a highly skilled workforce. Germany has produced several high-profile figures in terms of culture and arts as well as sciences. United States. Fourth on the list is the world's most dominant military and economic figure, the United States of America. With a GDP of $21.4 trillion and a GDP per capita of $65,298, it's home to 328,239,523 people and covers a land area of 9,833,517 square kilometers. The U.S. is a constitution-based federal republic composed of 50 states. The U.S. economy is the world's largest in terms of GDP and also the most technologically powerful. The country's most significant exports are computers and electrical machinery, vehicles, chemical products, food, live animals, and military equipment. The U.S. also has the world's largest coal reserves. Despite all these, the country is still wrestling with a deep economic recession and calls for greater social justice, especially in regards to racial inequality, which has been prominent in the country ever since. The U.S. is also home to several top universities in the world, which include the prestigious Harvard University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. China. And now we're down to the top 3 countries with the best technology. In the 3rd spot, we have the People's Republic of China, or simply China. It's home to one of the world's oldest civilizations and is the world's most populous country with a population of 1,397,715,000. It's considered the 2nd largest landmass with an area of 9,596,960 square kilometers. It's one of the fastest growing major economies with a GDP of $14.4 trillion and a GDP per capita of $16,804. The nation's rapid rise in global influence has also led to challenges abroad. China has come under frequent criticism, most notably from the U.S., for its human rights policies. South Korea. In the number 2 spot, we have the Republic of Korea, or simply South Korea. It has a long history of conflict that occupies the southern portion of the Korean peninsula. With a GDP of $1.65 trillion and a GDP per capita of $44,011, it has a population of 51,709,098 and a landmass of 99,720 square kilometers. South Korea's high-tech, service-based economy is a foreign investment success story, becoming the first recipient of OECD Development Assistance Committee funds to later become a donor of the funds. It's home to the headquarters of Samsung, Hyundai, and Kia, representing 2 of South Korea's important exports, technology and cars. Japan. Finally, topping today's list is none other than the land of the rising sun, Japan. Known for being one of the most technologically advanced nations, it's known for its ancient traditions with the aspects of Western life. Japan has a GDP of $5.8 trillion and a GDP per capita of $43,595, with a population of 126,264,931. Similar to Singapore, it's a relatively small country with a land area of 377,915 square kilometers. The country is among the world's largest producers of motor vehicles, electric electronic equipment, and steel. The service sector makes up the highest percentage of the economy in terms of gross domestic product and employment. Aside from that, it's also known worldwide for its traditional arts and distinctive culture. However, it's also struggling with the economic consequences of having the world's oldest population and declining birth rates. And with that, we're concluding today's episode about the list of the countries with the best technology. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you won't miss out on any of our new releases before you go. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you next time.